This message is brought to you by W Energy. Are you a gamer, streamer, podcaster, content creator, just a gym nut? Looking for a boost of energy without the jitters or crash? Then W Energy is the way to go. No calories, no sugar, no fillers, no artificial colors. Just an energy drink packed with multiple vitamins and neurofactor. Go to www.w.gg to order your tub of W Energy now and use promo code ChaoticCulture1 to get 10% off your order. With that, let's get the show started.
You are now tuned in to the Khaotic Culture Podcast.
It's the KKP on your mother flipping airways. Hear the name ringing through the halls and the stairways. You were listening to a pod that can segue. All the latest topics guaranteed to fill your headspace. It's a safe place to voice your opinion. Say what you feel just like you're a kid again. Kid to pro and friends, black as obsidian. Chaotic culture, that's the world we living in. So what's the word?
There we go. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Khaotic Culture Podcast. The power of chaos rules and black culture is supreme. KKP is brought to you by W Energy, the official energy sponsor of the Khaotic Culture Podcast. Use promo code ChaoticCulture1 to get 10% off your order. This podcast will deep dive into modern black culture and how millennials and Gen Z can navigate the crazy parts from music, finances, black business highlights, content creators, homeownership, HBCU, sports, black nerdom, anime, wrestling, and so on. If it encompasses black culture, we are going to cover it. Live from the 410, I am the host and the creator of the Khaotic Culture Podcast. This is your boy, Ked the Pro, a.k.a. the Calculator Millennial, a.k.a. the Encore presentation. Now, can I get an encore? Do you want more? A.k.a. your favorite toxic adjacent king, Ked the Poet, Ked the Closer, all of that good stuff. The 843 is me. Baltimore is the place to be. Always chaotic, never toxic most days. Back again. Once again, with your favorite black culture highlights and black culture shenanigans. You already know what time it is, man. It is time for us to do a Money in the Bank review. But before we do that, of course, I'm going to introduce my special guest. And y'all already know it's the same usual suspects who come on here when it's time to talk about wrestling. Starting off with my guy, JB versus the World. Please go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
Yeah, what's up? What's my boy JB? Acknowledge me.
No solo.
I'm not gonna lie, JB. I needed another at the last night, but we gonna talk about that.
We're gonna talk about that.
We definitely are. All right, and of course, from Haptaku himself, Mr. Vonny, but you see his face this time instead of the little code that he always has up here. You see Vonny's actual beautiful face joining us today. Pause. Vonny, go ahead and please introduce yourself, sir.
Hey man, you made me feel special. You had to pause that. I'm like, yo, I needed that. Nah, but you know me. As always, you can find me right there, my little character or whatever. But I hate Vonny on all platforms. I'm here. I talk about wrestling. I try to make y'all people's laugh or whatever. Hubtaku, the gang, you know we here to support you in your content creator needs. And I'm ready to talk that wrestling talk. I'm ready to talk whatever.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Before we get into the wrestling talk, just real quick, wanted to check everybody's mental health. I'm actually going to start with myself so I can get it out the way. Honestly, it's been really cool up here. The work has been work. Obviously, when you work in a warehouse, that's what you're going to end up with. But otherwise, you know, I'm not complaining too much. I'm learning, and the area that I'm in is still pretty cool. I have not really connected with anybody outside of the people that I knew beforehand up here, but hopefully I'll get a chance to do that this weekend and connect with some more people because BlurCon is coming up, and of course I will be there at least Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. So yeah. That in mind, JB, how's your mental health been, brother?
Mental health has been okay. I'm in the middle of doing some stuff for work. This is the first time I've said it out loud, but I'm in the process of moving. So I'll be moving here in the next couple months and relocate to a new city and, start living life, you know what I'm saying, in a whole new place. So I'm just trying to get my ducks in a row. So I'm cool. I'm excited about that. I just gotta do what I gotta do on my end, and the normal stresses that come with that. But I'm functioning.
Man,
JB,
salute
say
to
that
you.
one more time for me. I had to step to my door real quick.
I said I'm functioning right now. Just I'm excited about relocating to a new city. So the normal stresses that come with that. But overall, I'm excited. I'm in a solid place right now.
Oh yeah, that is right. You are relocating because you did tell me that before. Cool, man. Hey, yeah, I'm excited for you, man. You're just gonna be like me, bro. I relocated up here, and it's been different, but it's been real solid.
I ain't gonna be too far from you either.
Yeah, not at all, bro. Not at all. Maybe about 2 hours, if even that.
If that.
Yeah, if that. I don't even think it's a whole 2 hours away. Might be an hour and a half. I'll have to look at that. But anyway, Vonnie, how you been, bro?
Hey, bro, I'm blessed and highly favored. I can't complain. Life is good. I'm just chilling, bro. I'm just getting to it. Like no complaints, nothing, no things to worry about. I'm just thankful for the blessings and everything that's coming to me.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. All right, y'all already know what we here for. It is a wrestling episode, which means we are going to talk about Money in the Bank weekend because we have to include both Money in the Bank and NXT Heatwave. Now, there's been a lot of controversy about this Money in the Bank. I personally still enjoyed the show.
Man.
There are some things I was like, huh? But at the same time, I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna wait. We'll see what happens during SummerSlam. But that's just pre-thoughts about the show overall. Let's go match by match, shall we? It started off hot because it started off with the Money in the Bank ladder match for the men, and I just wanted to hear everybody's thoughts on this match starting out.
You know, it's a stretch to say that this might have been the worst match of the night or even the weekend, but it might be. But it was still very good, and it was
Yeah,
still very enjoyable. I like the spots that they did. Every year, like they try to do some creative spots with everything and try to get everybody involved. And they usually have somebody who's athletic enough to like get things going in that direction. And this year was Carmelo.
mm-hmm.
And hey, man, Melo low key was all over the place in that match, taking the bumps, like participating in the spots, flying around, doing the bumps. He was the real standout this year. But as far as like the winner is concerned, like I feel like that was the right call, and we'll get into like those reasonings later. But um, yeah, it was an enjoyable match. It was a strong start to the show. Got the crowd going.
Vonnie.
Hey, I'm gonna let y'all know now. The men's Money in the Bank match was the only match that I didn't see of the weekend, and the reason for it is because I was late going to a watch party to watch it. But I heard from what the clips and stuff I saw everything I needed to know to say that Melo's a star. Melo put that U.S. title on Melo later on down the stretch. Let him be the one to take it away from LA Knight. Ultimately, when LA Knight takes it away from Logan Paul.
Agreed. I think that the Money in the Bank men's match was probably maybe the worst match of the weekend, but still a very, very good match. Again, JB definitely mentioned the spots. Melo is definitely a star, and I knew that the moment he walked into NXT. I said, "Yo, he gonna be a star." And it's crazy because Melo is one of those people that I didn't actually know worked in the indies until I looked it up. I'm like, oh, okay, that
Christian
makes sense now.
Casanova.
Yes. So with that in mind, of looking at the match overall, that the spot with Melo and Andrade doing the reverse Spanish fly off the
Yo,
middle rope onto the ladder. Oh my God. I was like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Oh my gosh, that was done to perfection.
And the
Another
dangling from the top with no
you talking
ladder.
about Chad Gable?
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, when he was dangling from the cabiner because Jay had moved the ladder, and of course he came crashing down and then immediately got hit with the spear. I thought that was really dope too. There was a few spots on there. This man Chad Gable German suplexed a ladder into somebody.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, bro, really? What are we doing, y'all? What are we doing? Those are really like the major spots for that particular match. It wasn't like, again, the biggest car crash this weekend, because we'll get to that, but it was still a pretty solid match. And for those, of course, who did not watch but just want to be spoiled anyway, at the very end, Drew McIntyre was the one who ended up winning as Jey Uso was climbing the ladder. Of course, he launched a ladder at Jey Uso, causing him to fall, and that allowed Drew to
Shut the hell
climb up.
at it.
Yeah,
He literally
chucked
said,
that
"Yeet."
ladder like he launched like a lawn dart, bro. He literally launched that shit at him.
There's no
And
protection involved.
Nah,
nope.
just
And
vibes.
It's vibes and
Yep.
fiber.
and with that, of course, Drew McIntyre ended up being Mr. Money in the Bank. Now, of course, if you've been following his story within WWE, of course, this was part of his prophecy and how he told everybody. So we kind of, for me, when that happened, I knew what was about to happen throughout the night. Though when we first guessed the match, I thought that his nemesis CM Punk was going to cost him the Money in the Bank match. I didn't realize, or rather, somebody, was it you, JB, or was it you, Vonny, that said that this was going to happen?
I said it for sure. I'm not sure if Vonny said it.
Okay,
I think we might have all been on the same type of timing, but JB definitely was the first person to echo it, though.
got it. So yeah, what would happen next with that Money in the Bank briefcase is what JB called, and he was spot on with that. But again, I thought that CM Punk was going to stop him from actually winning the briefcase. But if he won the briefcase, then it was like, okay, now we know what's about to happen next. But with that in mind, let's get on to the next match, which honestly I think was the surprise of the night. And that was Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. Now, there was, again, some more controversy with this because a lot of people thought that Braun should have won. Me being me, I was expecting Braun to win, but I'm not mad that Sami won. In this case, because, and this is just from my vantage point, as a big Sami Zayn guy, he went on such a huge losing streak in the years prior. And so this is his moment to actually stack up some wins. He's been really, really becoming a strong babyface, honestly, since the whole Bloodline story. So I love super strong babyface Sami Zayn. And granted, yes, he's been like the underdog in every match that he's been, with maybe the exception of Chad Gable, but he's shown that he is still a wily veteran. And I like this idea of the wily veteran getting the win over the overzealous upstart. But that being said, I also think that they held off on Braun winning, because if you know how wrestling is and how it was in the past, SummerSlam was the WrestleMania for heels. So this would be a great time to, if you run it back, because it was a great match. If you decide to run it back, that's when you pull the trigger on Braun. At least in my opinion, SummerSlam is the time to do that. So, but still, overall, a great match. Braun really shows that he can go in the ring, and it's crazy just how athletic dude is, for real, for real. I mean,
young.
Yeah, never mind the fact that he is a Steiner, because we know this, but
You got that dog in him.
yeah, it shows that, yeah, this man got wrestling in his veins. All he needed was that little bit of training that he got, and he's shown that he can go in the ring for real, for real. Like, he really takes after his dad and his uncle. So big shout out to Braun. Braun really had a phenomenal match with Sami Zayn. And again, depending on what side of the spectrum you're on, you may be like, well, Braun should have won or whatever you have you. But again, I'm not mad at the results of that match.
Ah, man. Vonny, you want to go first this time?
Yeah, the only thing I'm gonna say to this point is I think Sammy has to win this match. It was the right choice. I think it was the right choice and the right time. And not only for the fact that, like you said, SummerSlam is the WrestleMania for heels, but also more importantly, it's like when Sammy ultimately loses that title to Braun Breaker, Sammy needs something to do. So my thought is he's going to be one of the people that's going after this world title that ultimately we think is going to go to who we think it's going to go to. And them two have already faced each other, and Sammy has a win against him. So it's like, you want to make it seem legitimate, and you want to make it seem like a refutable, like actual somebody who's gonna go against him, and it not seem like, all right, you're just shoehorning him. Like, nah, he got a couple wins in his belt. Like, it, you have to put him in instances where he makes sense as a champion in order to be a competitor for this world title, especially if you're gonna make him lose to this person that we think is gonna win that title.
There were no less than 3 instances this weekend where we saw, like on Twitter and on the internet in general, the fickle nature of wrestling fans. And this was one of them. I call Braun to win this match. I'm definitely not mad about Sammy winning. Sammy, like to your point, what you said, Vonny, Sammy went for about what, 2-3 years on a losing streak. Like if you watch Ups and Downs on What Culture, he had a losing streak counter for like the longest.
He really did. Simon Miller had that Sammy lose counter.
That shit is hilarious.
Hilarious.
Yeah, hilarious, man. Shout out to Simon Miller, man. But yeah, he was that for the longest. And then of course the Bloodline story upped his stock. He got healthy and people started running with it, and they wanted him to beat Roman just last year. How are you going to be upset? Like, he beat Gunther at WrestleMania this year. He beat the longest reigning tag team champions at WrestleMania last year. And you're upset that the guy that beat Gunther, the guy that unseated the longest tag team champions ever, is being booked to beat a rookie on the main roster? Like, y'all upset about that.
They want him to be Brock Lesnar so bad, and it's like, he's not. Like, let him be Braun Breaker.
He's not.
But also give Braun time. I think what Braun is like 25, 26.
Yeah, he's one.
And he's only what, 3 years in the business altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Give him time. He'll be fine. He's not going to win every time. Give him time. Like, if anything, this loss will fuel his character and is going to make him stronger going into the next one. He'll learn from his mistakes. We saw that with the spear around the corner. He stopped himself this time as opposed to last Monday where he ran into the steps. Like, he's learning, he's growing, he's developing as a character. Let the progression of things happen. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with Sammy winning. I think it was the right call, even though I didn't call that.
And it was an amazing match.
It was a really good match. It was a really good match, man. People just, as you said, people are fickle. And for me, I'm like, either way that this match could have gone, whoever won the match was going to be the right decision either way, because you could say, okay, you put the Intercontinental title on Braun, you know, pretty much you have rocket strapped him to the moon, or you can have him lose just to run it back in the very next month, and it won't make any difference. So, in my opinion, you know, Sammy won, and as we've said, like, Sammy literally beat the unstoppable Gunther, who, mind you, guys, there's only been 3 people to ever beat Gunther, and yes, Braun was one of them, but Sammy was the other one, and the third one being Ilya. So, in the entirety of WWE, only 3 people have ever beaten Gunther.
Well, if you want to, we don't count Survivor Series. That's Survivor Series.
Nah,
we don't talk about that.
No, we don't talk about that.
But if you did that, even if we did, that's Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. So with that, so with that, and then again, as we said, he was literally the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion, and then he was part of a tag team that dethroned the longest reigning tag team champions of all time. So, come on, guys. Like, Sammy has some stock behind his name. So we'll just leave it at that. The next match, if I'm not mistaken, is the World Heavyweight Championship match. And this one also had some controversy behind it for a few different reasons. Now, guys, let me preface this by saying, listen, people make mistakes, y'all. People make mistakes, and wrestlers make mistakes all the time. Botches happen. Yes, we know that there was a missed opportunity for Damian to kick out of that Falcon Arrow, but either one of 2 things had happened, and we didn't really get any confirmation on what happened. Either Damian was legit knocked out when Seth Rollins hit him with that knee, or somebody in the truck missed the cue to play Drew McIntyre's music.
I think it was
one of those 2 happened.
One of those 2 things happened. And we'll never know. We'll never know what happened.
We'll never know.
Either way, like you said, botches happen, mistakes happen. These guys are professionals, and harping on the negative as opposed to the positive isn't going to get us anywhere. It was a
It's not.
fantastic match. Fantastic match.
Yeah, it really, really, really good match. And I liked the psychology throughout the entirety of the match. You have Damian Priest, who is still trying to prove that he is a legit champion and doesn't need outside interference or doesn't want to lean on crutches in order to win the match. He wants to prove that he is his own man and that he is a legit champion. And you have Seth Rollins getting into his head the entire time about this. It's like, hey, you want to be a man, stand on your own 2 feet, stand on your own 2 feet. I like the psychology of that. But then also you have both of them looking up at the entranceway like, okay, an opponent is down. Is Drew coming now? And they keep looking like, is he coming now? I liked that anticipation that it builds because they just knew like, yo, Drew is not the person to wait like he should be with that briefcase. He's going to want to get his championship as soon as possible because he says throughout the entirety of this buildup that he wants to get back to being world heavyweight champion because he is thirsty for that moment again. He was only world heavyweight champion for 5 minutes and 46 seconds before Damian took it from him. And then, of course, you saw the controversy that happened at Clash of the Castle. So right now, Drew is not a patient man. He is not patient. He wants the gold. Yeah, right here and right now. And ultimately, that was part of his downfall in this entire feud with CM Punk. But throughout the match, again, despite the bots, the match was still pretty good. And then after that little botch that happened, then, of course, you got the Drew McIntyre cash in and became a triple threat. And it looks like he has everybody's number. And just when it looks like he's about to go for a pin, of course, our favorite Phil Brooks, CM Punk, comes in and ruins it. And oh my gosh, he of course he got him outside the ring and he just started wailing on him with a chair, started choking him out with the cord. I'm like, yo, CM Punk is literally legit trying to commit murder, guys.
We are
like,
so bad.
I'm like, yes, we're out of the PG era of WWE, guys. We're back to TV 14 stuff. Well, not
Netflix
not
hit
TV
like
14,
crack, bro. Come January.
Yeah, when we get to Netflix, I already know like Triple H is like, all right,
yeah, bro.
So yeah, I am just so ecstatic for when that happens. But looking back on that whole situation, and then of course you get CM Punk looking at the title and then hitting Drew with the title, and then with that, Damian Priest hits the South of Heaven chokeslam and gets the victory. This created a whole lot of narratives. The first one is, did you see Damian Priest's reaction after the match? He looked legit pissed, and it could be one because of the botch, but also because he wasn't able to win on his own. Yeah. So now you're just like, he's in the back of his head. He's like, fuck, I can't believe that happened again. How am I going to prove myself as champion? Like, you can tell that he was looking like that, like, because that's what he really wants to do. And then, of course, CM Punk once again cost Drew a world title shot. And a lot of people say, oh, it wasted money in the bank. And I'm like, nah, this is actually a perfect story behind it. Depending on what side of the aisle you're in, because I have a lot of Virginia friends who don't like CM Punk. So, of course, they're tired of the shenanigans. And that's why they hated this. Me, I don't have no animosity towards CM Punk whatsoever. In fact, I like Phil, the wrestler anyway. Philosophical differences aside, I do think that he is a great entertainer and a great wrestler, and I enjoy watching him in the ring. So I didn't have a problem with this. I knew that it was going to pretty much push this narrative to SummerSlam, where we're probably going to get Drew versus CM Punk if Punk is cleared. Now, the other narrative is it brought Seth Rollins back into the picture, because not only did you cost Drew the title, but on top of that, because there was a stipulation in the match that if Damian Priest had won, Seth would never be able to challenge for the World Heavyweight title so long as Damian Priest holds that title. And if Seth had won, then, of course, Damian Priest would have to leave Judgment Day. Damian Priest won because of that. And so now Seth is like, well, not only do I have gripe against Drew because I didn't get pinned, he came and made this match a triple threat. Now I have an even bigger gripe with, CM Punk again, because he literally just cost me my chance at becoming world heavyweight champion.
And there was already pre-existing beef there, and
exactly in real life too.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. I'm like, yo, that just created a whole bunch of narratives between these four men for real. So this will be interesting to see how this plays out. But overall, I enjoyed the match. I enjoyed the shenanigans. And overall, WWE, and I'll share my thoughts about the whole Money in the Bank situation, but I'll let my guests talk and, give their opinions.
I'm going to let you go first, JB.
Bravo to Triple H. Bravo to everybody involved. I absolutely love the way that it played out. I absolutely love it. Before I get into that, listen, Damian Priest is not Rhaenys Targaryen. You're not the champ that never was. You are the champ. I understand that he's upset, but it's all good. I know that's going to be a story. That's going to be the story for him and his character going in and out of his reign. Also, beautiful tie with Seth Rollins, because Seth Rollins really is the victim in all of this. And it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, because now part of me is thinking that Seth is going to get involved with the match with Punk and Drew at SummerSlam. And that kind of sparked that feud. I think they're pinned for WrestleMania next year. That's my early thoughts. But yeah. In wrestling, this is example number 2 of wrestling fans being fickle this weekend. The obvious thing is the right thing sometimes, and it's okay. Punk said not more than 3 weeks ago that for as long as he's in WWE, for as long as he's breathing, Drew would never be world champion again. What did you think was going to happen to the pettiest, most hating ass wrestler this side of Kendrick Lamar? Like, what did you think was going to happen? He said it. He kept his word. On top of that, he got the receipt, bro. You take something from me that's precious to me and my family like that, I'm gonna be on your ass too. I'm gonna be on your ass. And you got Pepsi Field riled up, who said he's the devil when you got him riled up. We shouldn't have poked the bear. It is what it is. This shouldn't have been unexpected from anybody watching that's been paying attention. I know some people said they're tired of the same endings with Drew in his title matches, whatever. But all of this ultimately, yeah, you can say that narrative's tired. But for character-wise, he brings this on himself. That has been his thing for almost the last year. He brings this thing on himself. And like I said in my predictions video, he takes steps forward, then he takes steps back. And it's all his fault. This is his fault. You poke the bear that you've been poking at still, despite the fact that it's been obvious that you shouldn't do it. He's cost you twice. He's going to claim it's 3 times, but it's really all his fault. Learn the lesson, and he won't, and it's going to cost him, and it's going to keep costing him. And oh my God, this is the best feud going in wrestling, and I love that. I love this is going. Also, the Damian thing, we're going to get Damian and Gunther at SummerSlam. I'm digging that as well. We've never seen that one before. Mm-hmm. That's going to be the end of the reign for him. And also, for the people who are upset about the Money in Bank thing, realistically, if you put that briefcase on anybody else over the course of the next 365 days, who realistically is going to beat Cody or Gunther for those championships? What story would you derail to put that belt on somebody else in the next 365 years?
Thank you.
Nobody. It doesn't make any sense. We just had 2 years of long Money in the Bank holders do their thing with it. One successful, one not. It is what it is. Let things rot. Let it play out. Let the chefs cook. They're doing a good thing.
I 1,000,000% agree with what you said. My thing is just looking at we had this conversation, bro. Just looking at the list of people, it's like none of these people are realistically going to be champion between now and WrestleMania at any point. And even then, you still got the card is so convoluted as far as top guys and who could hold the title. We just said CM Punk, we just said Seth Rollins, we just said Gunther, we just said Drew McIntyre. All of these people, like all of these promotes. Jey Uso, I mean, I know he's in the thing. He was supposed to be champ a while back. Allegedly, they was talking about putting it on him. There's talking about Chad Gable. Like, it's so many different names. We just spoke about Sami Zayn. Like, don't forget about him. And a bigger thing is the money in all of this is nobody's thinking about Finn Balor for some reason. And granted, he's my favorite wrestler. I'll let y'all know, but like Finn, nobody's talking about the fact that how he was looking at him like, yeah, whatever you say, boss. As he walked off when they had that little interaction in the back of the I'm like, yo, that's going to lead to something. So Damien's going to be in the middle of some kind of a program with Finn Balor down the line anyway. Then you got Rhea Ripley coming down. Like, bro, like it worked out perfectly the way that it did. It's advancing the story. And as much as I love Melo, I would have wanted Melo or Jay to win the actual briefcase, but none of them need to be wrapped up in it because both of them got some stuff that's going on. Like Melo is ultimately going to be, like I said, him and LA Knight for that US title. That's going to be a thing. Yeah. And Jey Uso, we already know he's about to get wrapped up in this bloodline feud, which we're going to talk about later.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's that on that. But I think that he cooked. I think this was the best way possible. I don't need another person carrying a briefcase just to carry a briefcase for whatever reason. I think it played out perfectly. Now, I'm gonna give my opinion on the other briefcase situation, but I'm gonna leave that when we get there.
Right. Overall, for me, I think that WWE kind of just wants to focus on one briefcase at a time. Or rather, if you remember last year now. Io Sky, it took her a month before she cashed in, but Damien had held on to that briefcase for damn near a year. And so I think that with that narrative for them, they don't want to do the same thing over and over again. Like, oh, let somebody hold the title or hold the briefcase for a long period of time. We got a story here. Let's just go with it and keep it moving. So, yeah, we're not going to have a Mr. Money in the Bank for the remainder of the year, but it's not the first time that has happened. But still, I think that personally, with the Miss Money in the Bank winner, you can create that story and that narrative of someone holding it in until like the right moment to strike. There's plenty of ways that you can do that.
And I think they're about to cook, Vonny. I think we on the same page.
Yeah.
But they're about to cook with that story. We'll get to that.
They definitely are. I'm ready for it. As far as like with the men's, like we said, Jay is probably going to be involved in a bloodline story again. Chad is dealing with the Wyatt Six. Andrade, I don't know what they're going to do with Andrade right now.
He the speed champion.
He the speed champion.
Sure, he didn't even get a pop when he came into the ring, bro.
Man,
they need to do something with that man. He is too good.
He just got to start beating niggas' asses.
I don't know, but I personally I love Andrade in the ring, and so
he's amazing.
That's why I'm like, yo, when I hear El Idolo, I'm like, oh, okay. But I'll admit, like when I first hear his music, I'm like, wait, who is this? And then you get El Idolo. I'm like, oh, it's Andrade. Okay, cool. I'm ready for it. But I personally liked his older music when he first came to WWE, but I understand why they can't go back to it because CFO $sign no longer is employed. But yeah, whatever. That's just so much. I missed him so much. But
no disrespect to Def Rebel, no disrespect to Def Rebel at all.
All disrespect to Def Rebel.
Speaking of which, before I move on, how did y'all feel about Braun's new song? Because now we got it's more rock.
I don't know how I feel about it.
I gotta hear it again.
Lyrics. It's got lyrics, so this is the one we're gonna be stuck with. So I'm sure it'll grow on me. But that first joint, his NXT joint was a banger to me. I was fine with that.
Yeah, his NXT joint was cool, and then when he came up, I was like, they changed it. Why? But they changed it again, so I'm thinking this one is probably gonna stick. So I'm looking forward to seeing or hearing it again. It took me a minute to get used to AJ Styles' new one because I was like, I don't know if I like this, but the more I heard it, I was like, yeah, you know what?
His shit fire.
This ain't bad.
It's not bad. Somebody said it's better. Somebody said it's better than the last one. I'm like, that's cap.
No. Absolutely not.
No, it's not better than the last one. It just it fits his character though. So that's why I'm like, yeah, you know what? That ain't bad. It ain't bad at all.
I want to get one ignorant take off before we go into the next match. While Def Rebel been definitely cooking as of late with a lot of these themes, and I saw somebody say that if it's a Samoan, Def Rebel about to go crazy in the booth.
Yes, bro.
What I will say is My ignorant take might be the fact that I kind of maybe sort of, and I might be jumping out the window, feel like C4 Dollar might have given us the best set of music we've ever had in WWE. I don't know. I mean, Jim Johnson is a legend, but it's like it's I don't know. I don't know.
That's a tough.
I don't want to put two baddies against each other.
CFOs, man, they ain't have a lot of misses.
Yo,
they
CFO,
really
they came in the game and like it's been banger. Jim Johnson too, again for legacy, but like I mean,
hey
man,
I will say that CFO Dollar Sign and Jim Johnson have had more hits than they had misses. Let's not, confuse the fact that that each of them have had misses before. But when they hit, they hit. And it's the same with Def Rebel. Like Def Rebel has a lot of misses, but when they nail it, they nail it.
Oh my god.
It would be disingenuous. It would be disingenuous if we said that that Def Rebel is like the worst thing to ever happen to wrestling music. They've got they have enough to put together a top 10, top 15 if you want to go that route.
Bro, y'all hear Carmen Petrovic's theme?
Yeah.
Bro, the sling, dun, 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 dun. Bro, come on, nah. Y'all not gonna disrespect. Y'all not gonna disrespect Def Rebel.
They did EO's. They did EO's theme.
They not gonna disrespect Def Rebel.
Shot, that goes.
They did Roman shit.
They did Roman. Yes. They did all the bloodline. Everybody in the bloodline. Yeah,
everybody in the bloodlines.
Nah, man.
They got the credit for a Big E's theme song with Wale.
Did not know that.
Yeah, they got the production credit.
Okay.
Yeah, like they've got a list. They got a certified list.
LA Knights theme. That's Def Rebel.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah. Both of Seth Rollins themes. This one and the Monday Night Messiah one. That's them.
Yeah. Now I wasn't feeling the Monday Night Messiah. It fit his character, but I wasn't feeling that one. But that's
I don't even remember how it go.
I'm not gonna hum it. I mean, I'm not gonna embarrass myself and hum it.
But nah, they definitely hit when he came out with this. Well, it's not new anymore, but yeah, when his latest one had come out, I was like, oh, wait a minute, this should kind of go.
This should
Let's see. They did Ilya's theme, Carmelo's theme. They did Trick
Williams theme, bro.
Yeah. They did the D'Angelo family, the new joint he got.
They did both of them, honestly, but the new one I think is fire, bro. Then you add the strokes in there, and that whole orchestra is like, oh no, this makes the theme a lot darker. Oh shit, we on some real Godfather shit now, for real. But Def Rebel definitely does have hits when they hit. So I will give them all the credit. They've been doing a lot better recently than they have done in the past too. So there's that. So let's go ahead and move. Before we get to the next match, of course, we did get an announcement before the championship match that, of course, John Cena will be officially retiring in 2025. It is really crazy that a dude that we've been watching since 2002 is, getting ready to hang up the boots. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? It's really, I guess it's pushing that time. John Cena had hinted before that, the end was near. So now the end is really about to be here. And it's different because, again, you're me being 11 years old, and that is the Superman that I grew up with. I liked John Cena more than I was booing him. There were times where I did boo him, but most of the time I was like, yo, I like John Cena as a kid, like that, or as a preteen and as a teen. Like he was the I don't want to mention, he was the Stone Cold of that era. I ain't gonna say the other guy's name because fuck Terry Bollea. Anyway, if you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna say his ring name. He doesn't get that respect from me.
Y'all saw that recent shit he did too, man. Fuck him.
Yeah. That doesn't work for me, brother.
It does not work for me, brother. brother. Anyway, yeah, man, it's different, man. John Cena being gone is going to really hit different, but I know that he's been kind of easing his way out of wrestling for quite some time. It's just when you think about it in real time, like, yo, he's really about to be retired at the end of 2025. It's gonna be crazy. So thank you, John Cena, for all the work that you've done throughout the years. Thank you for the amount of work that you put in. And yeah, man, we appreciate it. 16-time world champion.
Yeah. The GOAT possibly. Like when you talk about the GOAT discussion, it's probably him. It
No, he
wouldn't be
is.
said to be said otherwise. Like longest reign on top to anybody, more make-a-wishes done than anybody. Just through one of the most difficult times in the business, he became the man. And whether you like want to admit it to it or not, lots and lots of bangers. Like the whole Cena can't wrestle allegations.
When he had that
Kill
U.S.
that
title
narrative.
invitational, bro.
Boy,
Yes,
Banger.
you went on a crazy run.
Banger.
That whole run was, and I took that personally. Man, John
No, for real.
is somebody that I didn't fully appreciate until that CM Punk Money in the Bank era. Around that time, I didn't fully start to appreciate John for what he was doing. But yeah, John Cena's been that guy. He is that guy, and let's just enjoy this last time we're gonna get him, and let's just, cherish him while we got him. What's left of him? No more jorts after next year.
I saw somebody say everybody go wear they jorts at half mast when he retired. That shit was crazy.
that is wrong on so many levels. But
that shit was crazy, bro.
That is so funny. Might, but no. But
he said that is so wrong on so many levels. But actually, I'm gonna make some text messages.
All right.
Man,
what's that even look like? You gonna walk around with your ankles looking like walk around like Mariko from Shogun?
Or look like Vince.
Oh Lord, let's not even get into that. I don't need that visual in my head anyway. Yeah. Next match, please. Women's Money in the Bank. Let me just say from my perspective, this is probably the best, if not one of the best, women's Money in the Bank matches that we've had in the history of the women doing it.
Yep.
In the 7 years that they've been putting this match on, this is definitely, if not number one, definitely number two, but not, it's probably number one. And when I say just the spots that they did and attempted to do were insane. First and foremost, I really hope that Zoe Stark is okay, because I know she tried to do her little springboard whatever onto Lyra Valkyria on the ladder, and she ended up actually hitting her head on the ladder. So I really hope that she's all right. Yeah, that is oh god, that looked like that absolutely hurt. And then Lyra, of course, tried to sell it, but I was like, yo, Lyra, like Zoe really hit her head. Oh god. But there was also Naomi doing that split-legged DDT from the two ladders. Like, Naomi, oh my gosh. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Listen, when it comes to black women in wrestling, just know, yes, that's always gonna be my answer is yes. And
all day and tomorrow.
Yeah, yes. And then let me not get started on them NXT prospects, because Shawn Michaels, HBK, boy, you have an eye and a type, and I am with the agenda, my brother.
Anyway. Boy.
Just that chainsaw man. He just like me for real meme.
Just like me for real. So you had that spot. What were you saying?
Oh, I said Miss Parker.
Miss Parker. Miss Parker.
Jada Parker. Oh my gosh, man.
Respectfully,
yes. I don't know what your relationships look like, man, but respectfully. I think they even gave her her hip attack an actual name now. It's called the Hypnotic, if I'm not mistaken.
That's fire.
That actually fits.
Man,
they did.
Yeah,
Hypnotic is a crazy ass name.
It works. It works. The first time I heard Vic Joseph said, I was like, that actually fits.
Respectfully,
Yo, Sean was watching the Players Club and said, you know what? I got it.
Man, when's my time? Anyway.
Anyway, back to Money in the Bank. Now that we had that spot with Naomi, we also had there was a couple of other spots. There was Io Sky hitting Zoe Stark. Zoe Stark, she took a lot of crazy bumps on this one. Zoe Stark taking that Michinoku driver
That shit
onto
was
the
crazy.
middle of the ladder. Oh,
that shit was
yeah,
crazy.
I
That
was
didn't
like,
even hit clean, did it?
No,
I don't know if it
God.
did or not, but yeah, it was. Oh boy, it still was amazing, but God, dog, I'm like, yo, this is why I can't be a wrestler, bro, because some of the
Zoe was
stuff
on that table, bro. She was definitely on that table after the match, and in the back had to be.
Mm-hmm. Had to. We had Chelsea Green hitting the unpretty her on Naomi on the bridge of the ladder. Of course, that was another spot. I'm trying to think of some other ones that might have happened that I might have missed because I was watching it back and forth. Just the women, they had an absolute car crash of a match, and I enjoyed every single moment of it. Of course. Oh, Chelsea Green at the beginning of the match jumping to try and
MVP.
Oh yeah,
yeah, like just jumping. I'm like, ma'am, it's a ladder match. You're not gonna be able to get that briefcase like that. I know she knows, but it was just funny. But the narrative here was that Chelsea Green has a fear of heights, and so she definitely conquered that fear of heights in this match because the bump that she took at the end, oh my God, it's definitely reminiscent of her Impact / TNA days. She was at the top, and of course, Tiffany Stratton met her at the top and pushed her over onto those two tables on the outside. Ooh.
And they set them up together.
Yep.
Right. They set them up together. That was the crazy part. I'm like, yo, y'all, these two are literally out, and then like, hey, you know what? Let's set up these tables right here. I'm like, okay,
just in case.
And yeah, rest in peace, Chelsea Green. But yeah, Tiffany Stratton ended up winning the match, and honestly, that was the right call. I think that was absolutely right call because now you have a whole bunch of narratives that you can do. You can let Tiffany hold on to the briefcase for a little bit. She's got this whole thing with Nia where she was buddies with Nia, who won Queen of the Ring. So of course it's going to be Nia Jax versus Bayley at SummerSlam, and with that you have the off chance that Tiffany might be like, oh, you know, I'm not going to cash on you. Like you were buddies and whatnot. And then, you know, betrays her during the match and be like, actually, you know what? I want this title, and just cashes in on either Nia or in the middle of the match, depending on, you know, what the results are. It could really, really get interesting, or you can just let Tiffany hold on to it for a while and play it up. There's plenty of narratives that you can go with it, but ultimately, I think, judging from Tiffany Stratton's character, this was the right call.
JB, I'll let you go first.
It's really Tiffy time world over right now. Anywhere she goes, she gets a loud reaction. One of the loudest reactions we see of the women, even though she just got to the main roster. Yeah, Tiffany Stratton is the right call. Like, I have no complaints about that. This match went crazy. And if you didn't say it, Ken, I'll say it. This was the best ladies Money in the Bank ladder match. Like, bar none. Like, this was the one. Right call, right winner, high spots. This match had it all. Chelsea was entertaining. She took the bumps. Like, MVP of the match, probably the whole damn weekend. I love this match. I need to watch it again for a third time because I was so sports entertained. And yeah, like, there's really nothing really too much to add. My only thing is, going forward, keep Tiffany off Instagram and calling somebody a black bitch again. That's it. That's it.
Well,
I ain't forgiving that. She said it was an accident. Like, how can you not?
She did say that it was an accident. Like, she posted it without sound on, and then she heard it 20 seconds later and was like, "Oh," and then deleted it. So I'll give her the benefit of the doubt this one time. But if it happens again, I'm gonna be looking at Tiffany like, ma'am, we got some explaining to do.
Nah, the hit timed up. The black bitch timed up with the hit on that video. Come on.
Well, yeah, you know what's crazy though? Like, we not that far removed because I remember when Mandy Rose had that little stint of shit going on the airplane where her and I think it was also Bianca in the braid, or it was somebody else. So like we not that removed too, but also at the same time, I thought Mandy Rose as champ. That shit was like she was the perfect heel champ. I'm like, oh, this shit works. It makes sense. So it's like I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna assume that like what she said was the case. It's also not my place, maybe as a black man, to say that shit versus like a black woman who might be more affected.
Yeah, that too.
So like a part of me kind of want to mind my fucking business, but what I will say as far as like the actual match in itself and like the agreement, like I agree with all of y'all on that point. But the two things that I do want to take away from this is objectively, Tiffy was the right choice. Tiffy should have won, and it makes most sense for the story. But subjectively, bro, Chelsea Green should have got that victory because Chelsea Green would have made the most sense to hold the actual briefcase for a while. And even if you didn't want her to win and she failed to cash in, it would have made sense. But also, like Chelsea Green winning that briefcase stands to give her the best chance to actually win the title and hold it for a while. Even if it's not immediately, she could have kept it for a while and then just cashed in like down the line. Even if it's not at SummerSlam, we talking like a Royal Rumble or something like that. And now she champs, some shit like that. Like that would have made sense. But where I'm not that mad at it is that Chelsea is going to be Chelsea. She's going to be fine. Both of these stars, Tiffy deserves it because she's amazing. You saw that in the match. And also, a little birdie is saying that they're going to make a women's Intercontinental and a women's U.S. title. So, yeah.
And I know the women have been asking for it. So, you know, especially since NXT now has the Women's North American Championship, which we're going to talk to in just a few moments here.
Yep.
So,
one thing before we move on, fellas, I just want to feel the temperature because I feel this way. Chelsea Green, best Triple H rehire? Yay or nay?
Definitely up there as one of the best. If I'm looking through it all,
Triple H rehired her, right?
He rehired her.
Did Drew get rehired by Vince?
Yeah. Well, one of those two. I mean in the post-pandemic, like since he's taken over creative.
We talking like after Vince left.
Yeah.
Like after
those people rehired.
After Freaky V.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say, definitely one of the top ones to get rehired, especially from a character standpoint. She hasn't gonna go in the ring, but definitely, like, I've enjoyed her character.
She's so entertaining.
He brought back Chelsea Green, who again that makes the most sense. He brought back Scarlett, brought back Karrion Kross, brought back Authors of Pain.
Hit Row. I don't know, see what happened there.
Yeah.
You can't. If Swerve was still there, I would have been like, bring back Swerve. Don't bring back Hit Row. He carried them. But anyway, I'm trying to think who else did he brought back. He did bring back, or rather, Johnny Gargano came back. When he realized that Triple H was taking over. So
but that's more of a re-sign. That's more of a re-sign.
That was a re-sign. It's like, oh, Triple H is in charge. All right, bet I'm re-signing.
And in that case, it would be like I would have said Io Sky because she had to re-sign.
Mm-hmm. Whoa, Dakota Kai.
Oh, yep.
Up there as well. Yeah, man, we love King Coda.
I'm biased because Dakota's probably my favorite women's wrestler. Nah, she's definitely top 3 of my favorite women's wrestlers that's in WWE right now. But
love me some King Coda.
Yeah. And I guess technically Naomi is a rehire because I mean she walked out when Vince was still in charge. So
yeah.
So it's a lot, man. But I think Chelsea Green, as far as character work, she's definitely one of the top re-signs since 2022.
I'm with it.
And with that, the last match of Money in the Bank was the 6-man tag match between the WWE Universal Undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens versus 3 members of the Bloodline, and that included Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and the debuting Jacob Fatu. Now, let me just preface this by saying this. Jacob was literally I'm surprised that his back is not broken from carrying the Bloodline because he literally carried that match purposely to the way that the match was written. It seemed like every time the other team had gotten some kind of momentum against the Bloodline, Jacob would change everything. Like
Man.
just anything that he did, like the fact that he no-sold the draping DDT from Randy Orton. That's when I'm like, oh, this guy, he's about to go crazy. And anytime it seemed like, oh, the team got a leg up, here comes Jacob Fatu. He literally drug Tama Tonga back to his corner just so he could tag in. It seemed like no matter what they did, Jacob was around the corner. And they even, when they were trying to do the triple power bomb on Solo, Jacob.
The way he came, you saw how fast he super kicked 2 people?
Yes. Jacob was that guy, man. And then Kevin Owens even frog splashed him through the announcer's desk. Cody Rhodes hit 2 crossroads on Solo, and before he get that third one up, Jacob was right there,
Johnny
casually hitting a whisper in the wind.
Johnny on the spot with it.
Yeah, then of course knocking him down with the Impaler DDT, and then allowed, called for Solo to come hit the spike, and Solo hit the spike and got the 1, 2, 3. So with the rundown of that match, obviously there's some narratives here. Solo can say, hey, I pinned the undisputed WWE champion, so now I get a title shot, and this can open the door for, obviously, for Roman to come back and change the game. But it's just so crazy. Like, yo, the MVP of this match was definitely Jacob Fatu by far. If you had not known about him beforehand, if you've never watched MLW, I just recommend you go back and just watch a few matches. There's a reason why this guy was MLW champion for 2 years, 2+ years. He is just that good. And he, depending on, how you feel about the NOYE and the Fatu family, he might be the best from a technical standpoint out of all of them, just from his move set, the way he performs the moves, the fact that he does them in a safe way, and what's the word I'm looking for? How many, just his arsenal in general. Like, the man can do moves that a lot of people in his family have not even attempted to try and do.
That man, arsenal heavy, bro. His bag is so deep, man. And not for nothing, just a side tidbit. I don't know if y'all actually check him out on like YouTube. Bro is hilarious.
Yeah,
he's bro is hilarious.
Like, real talk though, bro. This man came out the draft class already 99 overall rating, bro. He is the best wrestler in the family, and it's not close, bro.
It's not.
It's not. He's better than Roman. He's better than Jay. He's better than Umaga was. He's better than Yokozuna was. He's better than Rikishi ever was. Like, he is the best. We talk about Roman as the thoroughbred, sure, in terms of aura and putting in the work, but we talk about who is that guy in the NOI Fatu family. It is Jacob, bro. And they're gonna have to mute him to keep him from overshadowing Solo as much as he could.
Yeah,
because he filled in and he's muted.
I think that Jacob is really gonna be like he's really gonna be WWE champion one day. I have no doubt. Just from, again, the way that he can cut a promo, the way that he can move in the ring. They as they said, they don't want him overshadowing Solo right now, but eventually they're gonna be like, I want to push Jacob. Solo cool, but I want to push that guy because what he does in the ring right now is crazy. So yeah, I can't wait to see where this story goes. And I'm looking forward to seeing what Bloodline 2.0 has in store. The funny part about this match, though, there was one botch. Poor Tongaloa missed the first time on a low blow when, the ref got bumped. And so he had to hit it again. I don't know if it was more so because he didn't want to hit Tama in the head or if he just legit missed. But either way, it was funny as hell. And I just, thought I'd say that again. Botches happen. It's wrestling. It's gonna happen, but I just thought that was funny.
No, he was checking his prostate first. That's all that was. But nah, I heard rumblings that Tongaloa might have been concussed from that suicide dive he took, bumping his head against the table, and that kind of might have thrown his equilibrium off.
Damn.
Yikes.
So I've heard that. I heard that as well.
I'm definitely hoping that he's doing all right.
Thoughts and prayers to that man for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
That man is a dog though. Like Jacob Fatu, that one for real. Everybody need to stop acting like Solo not nice with it too. Y'all getting real disrespectful on the internet, and I need y'all to shut that down immediately. Cause Solo, bro, that boy still move. It's none of my business, but I'm also glad that he wearing shoes, all of them. Something about wrestlers having bare feet. Something about that. It don't bother me, but it's like, yo, fam, like I just know, like running in that, it gotta hurt.
No, I'm saying like that's a easy way to get hurt in the ring. I'm like, I that's why like I was never comfortable seeing that. I'm like, I get it in some cases, but it's like, yo, something could go wrong and you could easily end up with a couple of broken toes or a whole broken foot just because your foot's not protected. And I don't know how, one the original bro, I don't know why he was able to do that for so long and he still wrestles with that, but I mean, that's on him. But yeah, as far as the Samoans, yeah, I'm glad that they all are like they have boots on, or at least sneakers on. Because anything happens, it's like okay, brother, you risking it. But anyway, and I can't believe that I brought Matt Riddle up in that discussion, but I mean, I guess it fit, but still. And while we're doing this pod, of course, Raw is going on right now, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to try and get through NXT Heatwave as quickly as possible so that way we can watch the rest of this. CM Punk, of course, just showed up on my screen. So, I already know what this is about to be about. So, NXT Heatwave. This felt like a damn takeover.
Oh,
from
absolutely.
The way that these matches went and how good they were. I was like, I haven't seen NXT put on a PLE like this since a takeover. It's been a minute. Not even Stand and Deliver was this good.
And that was Stand good.
And Deliver was good. So Heatwave blew me out the water. I'm like, yo, my expectations were not high at all for this show, and they far exceeded my expectations. So big shout out to everybody down there in NXT. I'm trying to remember the first match was Wesley versus Obafemi, correct?
There was a pre-card match of
pre-card match. So yeah, we got to cover that real quick. We had Ariana Grace and Carmen Petrovich versus JC Jane and Jasmine Nix. Of course, the Canadians won. Ariana Grace and Carmen Petrovich. Definitely gotta give them that credit. It wasn't like it wasn't like super technical, but still it was good to see them, and it was good to see Ariana get a babyface reaction. I don't know whether she's still going to be a face or a heel by the time NXT comes on tomorrow. We'll see, but still, I love the fact that they teamed together. I love the fact that they beat Jasmine Nix and JC Jane. I've really loved seeing. I want to see more of Carmen in the ring because I think she has a special moveset that she can really flourish in the ring, like almost like one Lola Vice, but we'll see when we get there. And I definitely want to see more of Jasmine Nix as well. I've never been big on JC Jane, wrestling-wise. Character-wise, yes. Wrestling-wise, she's not really been my favorite, but I still enjoy seeing her whenever she comes out there because, I mean, the character is just enthralling. Typical mean girl shit, but it is what it is. So I'm glad that the Canadians won. Any thoughts on this pre-show match?
I thought it was smooth. I love Ariana. She is hilarious. And in ring, she actually can go. She's pretty good in that sense too. That was a nice sight to see. I echo your thoughts on Carmen. Carmen is dope. She got the look. They're letting her like be more in the ring as well, giving her more time. Because like I've tried to cover Carmen's matches before, just like doing certain clips and stuff. And there's really not that many on the internet, or if there are, they're like very short. So finally giving her some airtime is dope because she's gonna have a match this Tuesday on NXT is great. And the other two is JC Jane. My thing about JC Jane, granted, I'm a Jersey apologist. I'm always gonna root for the Jersey person. So JC Jane is that one in my opinion. But like I love that they gave JC Jane that running knee like old girl had. Like
Mandy Rose.
Like Mandy Rose had. I think that joint that suits her more. for JC Jane, I really want her to have her own single shot and them to put her into a feud where she can allow herself to just like really be that star heel, because I think JC Jane might serve to be a good women's North American champion at some point, to take it away from somebody and hold it for a little bit so that somebody like Julia or one of them people could come in and take it. Because I don't think you can have Julia come in and we'll talk about that. But
yeah. Why not?
you can.
Julia's that girl. She can do whatever she wants.
Are you gonna have her going immediately at Roxanne, or are you gonna
not immediately, but you could build up to. I wouldn't put another championship on her, but
fair.
Yeah, like Julia, you give her a little run on NXT and then you get her onto the main roster and you let her kill everybody up top.
No, she's winning an NXT title. Like, no matter how you slight that, Julia is going to be NXT Women's Champ. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, and you protect her. You protect her as much as you can from point A to point B. You protect her as much as you can. But as what Ariana Grace is one of the best characters, like on NXT, like man, woman, experienced or otherwise. Like Ariana Grace's character is, I don't know, she her daddy daughter. She her daddy daughter.
She is. She
for
really
real.
Is.
Like if you saw my prediction, yeah, if you saw my predictions, I called her Santina. Just the fact that she even acknowledges Santina as her auntie for real is hilarious. But
I real quick, I Googled Ariana Grace just now, and I wanted to make sure I Googled this before I made this comment. She's 29, so I confirmed that, bro. Shorty's so bad. Oh my god.
Oh my god. I'm so glad you said that.
Oh my god, bro. She's so bad. God damn.
She one of them ones, bro.
Yep.
Oh my god.
For real.
Absolutely.
Listen,
and I can kind of say this. In our group chat, I did ask about Carmen Petrovich. And she's 28, by the way, so that's still a great age. And I just was asking, like, because I was like, yo, it's the legs for real, man. And was it Vonny? Was that the one? Oh, no, it was you, JB, who said that she was a Drake apologist.
Yeah, she a Drake apologist, man. I actually had like a little short exchange with her during the Drake Kendrick stuff, and she was like on that. Well, Drake makes better songs, so he's winning in my eyes. And it's like, respectfully,
Carmen, I'm sorry, man, but you have no say in this.
This is not for you.
She a white woman from Canada, bro. Like, what you really expect from her?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, nigga, passion fruit. Come on, what you gonna do? Passionate from miles away. Passive with the things you say. You want to sit there? You want to sit straight?
Yeah. What's she gonna do?
Man, that little drum loop from the other joint, where Herman or Georgia Smith come on, bro.
Yeah.
Moving.
In the ring, though, they got something with Carmen. In the ring, they definitely do have something with her. And I do like Jasmine Nix as well. I think that she needs more work. She's fairly new to the scene anyway, so that tracks. JC Jane, I'm with you. JC Jane needs more than what she's been giving. Her and Gigi both, since the breakup with Toxic Attraction, haven't really been giving too much. Gigi's injured. She's injured.
Yeah.
Because she was supposed to have a whole thing with Ariana Grace, and it was like she was supposed to have a makeover and stuff. Like, what happened?
Yeah,
I didn't know she got hurt.
So well, hopefully she returns and they can probably continue that. That would be funny.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and move on to the match of the night, in my opinion. And Seth Rollins just came out. All right, guys. Wesley versus Oba Femi.
Whew.
Oba is rookie of the year. Like, wow. That's all I got to say is wow. This is probably his longest match, and it's definitely his longest singles match because he was involved in triple threats, all defending the title and whatnot. But this proves that he's done a full length match with someone who can like really, really, really go in the ring, and we all know what Wesley can do in the ring. So this is absolutely insane how great that this match was. Like I gotta talk about that toss. Shout out to Wesley for being able to sell that really, really well. But this man Oba just tossed
F-150.
Yeah, that man spin like it was like an F10. I'm like, yo, this dude is really like going in this airplane spin. Wow. Okay, bro. Okay. Yeah. This was a great match. Great story for West to tell, you know, trying to get back the North American Championship, knowing that if he doesn't win this match, he will never be able to go for that title so long as Oba holds it. So it's the same stipulation as the World Heavyweight Championship match. But yeah, this match was absolutely incredible.
Yep.
Anytime it looked like, you know, West had caught back up, Oba had an answer as far as strength, and it seemed like no matter what Wesley could do, Oba found a counter. But to Wes's credit, he found some counters as well. There was a couple times where it looked like he was going to get powerbombed, and he found his way to, you know, get out of the move. He hit the cardiac kick a couple times, and you know, one time hit, one didn't work. He tried a splash, and this man Oba actually caught him in a chokehold. I'm like, oh my gosh, bro, really? Wow. There was one point where it looked like Oba was a little winded, but again, this is his longest match, so I kind of expected that. And then, you know, when he finally did hit the power bomb, I've noticed that, like, depending on his opponent, he's changed up the power bomb and how he does it, because like he'll pop him up, but then sometimes he'll just power bomb him and that's it. Sometimes he'll land on his knees. This one, he actually did a sit out power bomb.
Sat down.
Yep. Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah. When he sat down with it, I'm like, that's it. Ain't no coming back from that.
GG's.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, big shout out to Obafemi and Wesley. They really put on probably match of the weekend. And NXT Heatwave had some great matches, by the way. But yeah, this is definitely match of the weekend. Any thoughts?
Listen, man, all hits, no misses when it comes to NXT Heatwave. My cousin is one of them ones, bro. You're talking about somebody who's earmarked, like who's going to be a world champion, who's going to be a WrestleMania headliner, the first person to sign an NIL deal with WWE to win a championship. He has just taken to this business, and he is just like, with every match, his confidence grows. With every match, the aura grows. With every match, he just gets better and better and better. And it's just hard to believe that he's been doing this less than 2 years.
Right.
3 years ago, he was at the University of Alabama.
That's
and here he is. Like, highlighted, like every match he has, it's just one of the best matches of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Every time, consistently. There's no roof to this guy.
I'm not gonna hold you. I was ready to say he had a better. I'm jumping out the window. I'm not right when I say this. I want y'all to know this is pure passion. This is pure off the strength of him doing an F5000. Bro, I'll spin that man around like it was a 900 Ollie, like he was Tony Hawk. Crazy. But I was
running around like it was a T-shirt and Petey Pablo.
Yo, bro.
Real talk, man.
You stupid.
It was.
All right, I gotta hold on. Let me mark that one down. 111.
Oh my god,
that's a clip.
What's wrong with you?
Hey, but real talk though, man. All props to Wesley. I'm sorry that he didn't. It sucks that he didn't win the North American Championship back after the run. He is one of the best North American champions of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But it's time for him to go to the main event scene. It's been time for him to go for the big one.
I'm thinking, like, yo, put him in the main event scene. Like, bro needs to be going for the NXT Championship if he's not on the main roster. Like, he's getting ready for the main event scene now. So
I need him in the Royal Rumble in January.
February. Shit. That too, for real. Look, man, Wesley again can absolutely go in the ring. If y'all have never checked out any of his prior work to WWE, just check him out when he was part of the Rascals Impact /TNA. Like, I promise you, like, dude can really go. And the fact that he was able to, you know, break out of being a tag team wrestler into what he is now, like, that just says a lot of the work that he put in. So I'm gonna give him all the credit.
Yep.
From one North American Championship match to the other, the women's North American Championship match between Kalani Jordan and Sol Ruka. Two black, I'm gonna say there's just two black women.
Yeah, they
If
black.
y'all don't know that Sol Ruka is black, just look up her daddy. That's all you gotta
Facts.
look at her daddy. And yeah, also Tyler Bate, you my boy, but
Can we fight?
I'll fight for that one too. I said it. I'm like, hey, look, I said it about Kalani too. I'm like, yo, Kalani, I know that you go with Carmelo, but I'll fight Carmelo.
Yo, you
And
something's really
Tyler, I might be
wrong with
more.
y'all.
Tyler, I might be more like, but I'm like, you know what? Nah, fuck it, I'm gonna do it.
Nah, Tyler just walk up there one time.
Yo, and
But listen, we said that the men's match was great. The women, they put on a show for two women who have not been doing this long at all.
4 years combined.
4 years
Yep.
combined.
Combined.
Their athleticism is phenomenal. Both of them were, doing gymnastics in college at one point. Sol Ruka is more self-taught than anything because she self-taught herself a lot of things, which is crazy. But just the way that they were able to move around in the ring, you're just like, yo, there's no limit to what they can do in that ring. And the fact that Sol Ruka pulled off a springboard 450 clothesline, I'm sitting here looking like, what?
That's what I was gonna say,
ridiculous.
450 buckshot lariat, bro.
Right.
And it was clean.
Clean as hell.
I'm like, yo, how you did that, bro? Like that move was crazy. There was this one turnbuckle spot that they did, the Poison Rana.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, it was movement being had, and that was one of the safest Poison Ranas I'd never seen. Like, bro, like her head was nowhere near the mat. It was amazing. It still looked vicious. Like these two knew what they was doing in that ring. I don't know who was the one that was really calling the spots, if it was Kelani or if it was Soul, but both of them is really the ones they're gonna be moving in this shit.
Yeah, just the also like in the beginning, their beginning sequences, just like the amount of the reversals that they had from doing handstands to flips, just to get out of like the basic, stuff that they do in the beginning of matches. It's like, yo, that's when I knew I'm like, oh, this is about to be some heat because they moving around effortlessly right now. So big shout out. Kalani ended up retaining, of course, the championship, and I thought that maybe Sol Ruka might turn heel, but she didn't. There's still that off chance.
I thought it was going to be Kalani. I thought it was going to be more Kalani than Sol Ruka.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, two baby faces in a match. None of them turned heel at the very end. It still was a pretty good match for the women. Like, I much respect whatever Shawn Michaels is doing down there with these women. He is cooking. We said that he has a type, but Shawn Michaels also knows how, ring psychology works, and I think that he's very underrated at developmental. I know that he's got a whole team around him as far as developing talent. But when it comes to some of these NIL women who were in gymnastics and whatnot, they've been taken to the ring very, very quickly, i.e. Tiffany Stratton. So this has really been amazing to see these women come along in their wrestling journeys. And again, a combined 4 years of in-ring experience between these two women is absolutely nuts. But they have been able to wow and amaze us in no time at all. So yeah, definitely hats off to these women.
They in that bit moving, bro. It's beautiful, bro.
This might have been the most athletic women's wrestling match I've ever seen on camera. I don't think it's a stretch to say.
From a pure athleticism standpoint,
pure
probably.
Athleticism standpoint.
Yeah.
I want to get this off real quick. I know you meant that in a pure athletic standpoint, and it makes the most sense. But the way I heard that shit just sounded freaky as hell. I just wanted you to know that that shit came off crazy.
Come on, Vonny.
It was the on camera because he was like on camera. I'm like, yo, JB, take them shades off, bro.
Oh man. All right. So real quick, because honestly, this was probably the match that I was the least interested in, but I was actually still amazed by what they were able to do with the tag team
Hold on, before we move on to that, can I just say one thing, man? Before we move on, Man, fuck Dave Meltzer, bro, and Brian Alvarez for hating on two black women that put on the match that they did, calling the match two gymnasts disguising what they did as a wrestling match. And no, I'm not gonna stand for that. I'm not gonna stand for slander for black women. I'm not gonna stand for just for two. Yes, yeah. I think I quoted it on my timeline. But if not, I can send it to you. But yeah, they said it was just they were just you jumping around and calling spots. And I'm like, as much as y'all be like sucking off and glazing the young bucks, who have been called spot monkeys for over a decade, how dare you fix your lips to disrespect these two women like that are new to this business, that are learning this business, and are trying to get better in this business?
I just find it ironic because Meltzer is probably the greatest fucking gymnast. The way he pole vaults off of Will Ospreay's dick, that's just crazy, bro.
Somebody finally said it. Oh my god, bro! Like the way that this man Dave Meltzer creamed himself
off his cock, bruv.
Yeah, bro. This man literally eats himself all the time for this.
And I
wipe your mouth, bruv.
I love Ospreay, bro. I love him, dog.
Ospreay's amazing. Ospreay might be the best wrestler in the world right now.
Probably, and I can't even dispute that. But like, goddamn, G, like, let the nigga get off his dick.
Stand up.
Get off his hidden blade, bro.
Yes. Oh man, and I'm already so annoyed by Wrestler Observer News. Like WON, like it's one of the few they're one of the few wrestling news sources I just do not pay attention to, because I know like it's very, very opinion based, and they will do anything that they can to slander WWE. And again, listen, when it comes to AEW, and I watch AEW as well, like I am all about fair and balanced reporting, and fair and balanced, like when you're looking at matches and when you're looking at storylines. And I'll be the first to say, AEW, when it comes to their matches at their pay-per-views, they will knock it out of the park like 90% of the time. The Jericho matches have been terrible, but that's neither here nor there. That's a whole another story and a whole another podcast I can get into.
That learning tree is rotting.
Let me not get started on that. But when it comes to like the actual storyline, sometimes I can just be like, huh? What? Where are we going with this AEW? This what? I don't even want to like talk about like the whole Undisputed Kingdom shit, because it's just like, okay, it looks like MJF is about to go back to being heel, but what about these guys? What was the whole point of that? I know that the Adam Cole injury kind of derailed everything, but it still just was like, okay, yeah, all right. And so now pretty much the best thing that they've got going right now is the story that surrounds the Elite. And that's for me, and it's not because of the Young Bucks. It's really because of Okada, because Okada is a funny ass heel. That's
Okada's fucking hilarious, bro.
I didn't even know he could be this funny.
I didn't either.
I was like, oh no, I couldn't get it to work, bitch.
Like, I've never in my entire like existence could imagine Okada as a heel, but then just like seeing him as a heel now and just how funny he is like, yo, this dude is hilarious. Like,
this is really the Rainmaker,
right?
This is the Rainmaker.
Oh man, yo. So let's get back into this. Yeah, Dave Meltzer, go fuck off, bro. Slandering two black women. That's all I got to say.
Eat a back of baby dicks, motherfucker.
Yeah, we don't do that here. We do not do that here. All right, so the tag team championships, we got Nathan Frazier and Axiom versus Chase U. And I will say that this was the match that I kind of like had no stock in, but it's still a great match. I just was like, I really don't care. And not because I don't really like care about. It's not that they don't have great character works. It's just that I'm not a. I'm not gonna say I'm not a fan of Chase U. I just didn't like this whole whatever this was. Man. I don't know.
It just
felt like the build was
Vonny, follow me on this. Give me a C.
C.
Give me an H.
There you go.
H.
A. S. E. U. What's that say?
Check
you.
What is that?
Not, but for real,
Tia
it's not
Hell?
that. I think Chase U itself is like they did good as far as building the story. I personally wanted to see New Catch Republic versus the Nathan Frazier and Axiom, but we got Chase U, and it still ended up being a great match. Like,
Man, oh my God.
I was pleasantly
Ooh.
surprised.
Yo,
at the-
NXT,
Andre Chase was moving like he had bills to pay in that match, bro.
listen,
yes, he really
NXT
did.
NXT takeover PLE matches have never, ever, 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 ever missed. Not once, not ever. No. And man, you mentioned Andre Chase. My eyes was on Duke Hudson. No Diddy.
Yeah, Duke was doing stuff that I was like, what?
Duke was moving,
Like, yo,
bro.
did you just pull off a Stratus Canrana, bro? Like, what? Really?
Bruh, listen,
Come
the
on, man.
German, like the over the top rope release German combo, or the senton Samoan whatever, what do they call that? The Samoan drop senton combo he did was, bro, what?
Yeah, like why can you do this?
Now, mind you, he's like
crazy.
6'6".
I'm
He's like
saying,
6'6",
he's
280.
tall.
That's a big guy. And
Hey,
he did
yo.
the receiving end of a Spanish fly. Yeah, pause.
That's a big guy.
Yeah.
That is a horse right there.
Yo, I'm
That is a horse.
Screaming. Nah, but yeah, listen, I should have known, like, look, any match that's going to include Axiom and Nathan Frazier is going to be a good match. But yeah, Duke Hudson and Andre Chase were able to match that energy, and they absolutely went crazy in this ring. And again, Nathan Frazier and Axiom definitely retained after a sequence of events where there was one where I'm trying to remember. I know that they hit a Axiom hit the Spanish fly, and then Nathan Frazier hit his Phoenix Splash. That was one. It didn't get the 3 count, but that was a one sequence of events. And then the other, I don't know if it was similar to Chasing the Dragon, even though it wasn't Chasing the Dragon, where they do the suplex and then kick to the back of the head.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I think Chasing the Dragon ends in a brain buster as opposed to a suplex. So but still, it was a great match. And of course, Axiom won after hitting the golden ratio. But yeah, that tag team car crash, great match. I was like, yo, yeah, when it comes to tag team matches on NXT, JB is right. Like they very rarely miss, and I don't think they have at all.
They've never missed.
Nah,
never.
This was up there with fucking DIY versus the
Revival.
The Revival, yeah.
Woo. Fuck the Revival.
Speaking of which, DIY won the WWE Tag Team Championships in Toronto. Like it's like, oh, it's a callback to that match with the Revival because they even
same ending. Same
ending. So yeah, definitely shout out to them. But yeah, though this match definitely went crazy. Any thoughts before we move on to the women's championship match?
I just want to point out one thing. Vonny like shouted out to Andre Chase. You're absolutely right. And to go back to the spot you mentioned, Ked, about the Spanish fly to the Phoenix Splash. Andre Chase came in, not only interrupted that count, but turned that interruption to a Canadian destroyer.
He did.
Yep.
He really did.
Yes, he did.
That might have been my favorite spot of the whole weekend. Just the timing it takes. And that whole thing happened in about a span of like 13 seconds.
Yeah.
Spanish fly, Phoenix Splash, interrupted Canadian destroyer.
Bad fault, bro.
Oh my God. I love that match. I know we said Obafemi Wesley might have been the best match. That might have been like my favorite, my personal favorite. I love those.
They really went crazy.
I love Axiom and Nathan Frazier. They're my favorite tag team in wrestling right now. I love.
They gotta keep them together. I know they doing the whole like potential split, but they gotta keep them together for a while.
Yeah, they got to, man. Don't split them up, bro. Like keep them going because they're cooking right now.
Oh, so hard.
The only thing I could say as far as this match and what it goes is Nathan Frazier got to change his tights, bro, because the ribbon thingy on the back of it that make fake look like he got a BBL, that shit be blowing my G. Like, I need him to change that shit out. I'm sorry. It's been weighing on my spirit since Stand and Deliver, but like, I need him to change that shit. Other than that, the nigga's golden, bro. Amazing grab. Nathan Frazier, a star. Amazing grabs.
Yeah.
Fire, but it's just like, bro, I can't keep looking at your ass like this,
bruh. Okay.
That's problem. Get your boy.
Yeah, for real, bro. All right, hilarious. Okay, the NXT Women's Championship match between Lola Vice and Roxanne Perez. Bruh.
Hey, cut that. I'm so sorry.
Hey, yo, Lola Vice is a legend, bro.
Bruh.
She's throwing hands and throwing ass, bro.
Yo, respect. I'm the only thing that saddens me is that like Lola has the backhand now, which is amazing. I think it's great. I still need her to do the Buenos Noches though. Like,
yeah,
I'm saying like, yo, you had a whole other finisher. Like you have the backhand fist, but you also have Buenos Noches. You got a lethal kick. Come on now. But I was waiting for that, like for her to think like, hey, I can't use my back fist, but I still got these feet, bro, and I can still kick your lights out.
And they got a PhD.
Yeah,
they well educated.
Like you took Taekwondo, so like kicks are a specialty of Taekwondo. So I thought that she was really going to like use that to her advantage. But I mean, for what it's worth, the match was still really good. And this was probably the most methodical match out of all the matches today, because you saw Roxanne get in her head a lot. You saw her take advantage of course, injuring the right arm, so she couldn't do the spinning back fist. And Roxanne, you know, for all my saying that she's cringe on the mic as a heel, at least her in-ring heel work is still really, really good. Like she's got her heel moveset and it works. I just like whenever she does her promo, I can't take her seriously, but that's just me. And it might be just because I love Roxy, so I can never really see her as like a heel. So I'm just waiting, you know, when she gets on the main roster and goes back to being a babyface. But still, it is. I definitely enjoyed this match for what it was. Lola really got us emotionally invested, especially when she got hit with the pop rocks and kicked out. I was like, oh, okay. And then she got hit with the pop rocks on the table. They rolled her back into the ring and she still kicked out. Now I'm like, oh, wait a minute. And then Roxy hit 3 more pop rocks, and I'm like, okay, yeah.
She had them stored finishers. She was like,
she really did.
Yo, dog, she was spamming them pop rocks. It was crazy, like back and forth, back and back. That match was really phenomenal, and that's a testament also, bro. Roxanne Perez is a dog in a ring, and like people talk about it, but like people really need to put more respect on Roxanne's name, especially for like her height and everything, and for what she do, bro. She out there moving like a giant. It's impressive. It's amazing. I think that Roxanne, to your point of what you said, like the promo work, she's definitely gotten better in that sense too. Like it's more believable. I think also apparently she's been working more stiff with a lot of her hits and stuff, which is awesome considering I think getting ready for Julia. But what I will still say is I think that title needs to be on Lola Vice right now. Not right now, but like that title needs to go Lola Vice first before anything. Like Lola Vice need to get that champion spot, because I feel like if anything, she could definitely carry that torch.
I think it's also a testament we talk about Roxanne for how good she is. She's only 22 years old.
Right, bro.
She's only 22. Like she couldn't legally drink when she signed with WWE.
Which is, hey, it's our next match. We're gonna talk about another person who couldn't legally drink, but
hey, yeah. He's bouncy. Yo, we're gonna get to that, but I said multiple times that I feel like Roxanne is like a can't miss prospect, and if somehow WWE finds a way to fuck this up with her, I will drop the product altogether. I believe in her that much.
Yeah, I
But
don't believe that Triple H is gonna fumble her, bro. He can't. I don't think he will.
Like, she is so good and so talented and still developing. I mean, I feel like this match, when we talk about the 10 matches the 11 matches WWE had this weekend, this might be the most underrated.
Yep.
Because the storytelling, like to what Vonny said, the storytelling, how methodical it was, like everything from Roxanne getting frustrated to Lola losing injuring her fist and like using her feet, and Roxanne getting more ruthless and getting more frustrated and getting more angry as the match went on. And like, sure, she kicked out of prop rocks, but it's like the one on the table, the 3 in the ring, and even the box with the
still went crazy.
Still went nuts. Fuck that. We messed up. I'm gonna bring your ass here. We're gonna try it again.
Bring that ass over here, boy.
Bring that ass here, boy. No Diddy. Man. Such a good match. Such a good match.
Very good match. Very good match. Now, as we wrap up, we got to talk about the Fatal 4-Way for the NXT Championship. Yeah. Now, all of the other champions retained, but this one was a very, very surprise change. And I jumped out of my seat when it happened because I was not expecting it. At least not the way that it happened. If I guess for me, if one of the wrestlers had hit their finish and then got the pin, it's like, okay, cool, here we go. I would have been like surprised, but I would have been like, okay, bet. But just the way that this finish happened. So it's a Fatal 4-Way for the NXT Championship. You have, of course, the young OG, Javon Evans, aka formerly known as Jay Malachi, if you have not checked out any of his prior work. You have All Ego Ethan Page. You have the former Ty Dillinger, Mr. 10 himself, aka the chairman, Sean Spears. And of course, whoop that trick himself, Mr. Trick Willie Trick Williams, the former NXT champion, because he lost this match.
Man. That's pretty.
This was a phenomenal Fatal 4-Way, and I will say Javon Evans absolutely fucking carried. Oh my word, did he carry this match?
Man, the story.
This man is only 20 years old, and the stuff that he is doing in the ring. We were just talking about Roxanne, and we got to put the focus on him. It's like, bro, you doing what at 20?
2 months. It's 20. 2 months.
It is insane. Like, his repertoire is crazy.
Man.
There were a couple times where I actually did think that the match was going to go to him. He hit that his top rope cutter. I know some people have like the same move, like Cody Rhodes has the Cody cutter, obviously, but just the way that Javon actually does it, how high he gets when he does it, it's like, yo,
it looked more devastating.
Exactly.
Like between him and Montez Ford, like WWE has 2 space cadets at any given moment.
Yep.
Just right. Right, yo, it's crazy, and then of course his actual finish, Holders in the Row, which I guess it's a corkscrew plancha, I suppose, because
it's like a corkscrew splash.
Yeah, a corkscrew splash, I guess. It's still amazing how he pulls that off too. But both times that he did it, of course, Trick Williams was able to break up the count. There were times where I know that Trick is probably the least experienced out of all 4 of these men, but and you can kind of tell because he had probably a lot of the break times. You could see where they're going at each other and like, okay, well, where's Trick? I'm like, oh, he's probably like recovering and whatnot. But that's not to say that Trick can't go in the ring. It's just with the experience that's between them, it's crazy. And again, what Javon is able to do in the ring is absolutely nuts. I want to talk about this ending though, because obviously this was the surprise of the night. This was nuts because this guy. All right, so Trick hits Javon at was it Javon?
He had Javon.
Yeah, he hit
Javon.
Javon with the trick shot. And
Yep.
then Ethan Page comes in. He hits the trick shot on him. Ethan Page falls on to Javon. And then Sean Spears pulls Trick Williams out the ring. And the ref counts 3 while Ethan Page is covering Javon Evans, meaning that Ethan Page had told the truth. He's like, I can pin you, but I don't have to. And he didn't have to pin him. He became NXT champion. And boy, when I tell you, I jumped because I was like, I for some reason, I'm paying attention and I'm watching it, but it didn't click into my head until I heard 3. And I'm like, whoa, what just happened? I'm like, Ethan Page just became NXT champion. Oh, shit. Well, damn. Okay, then. It was quite a crazy and unexpected finish. And you know what? I still like the match, and I really like the ending. I know me being black, obviously, I'm gonna be like, yo, I feel like this is kind of like racist because Trick Williams is no longer champion. But the wrestling fan in me is just like, damn, that was a fucking good ending, yo. What the fuck?
Listen,
like yeah.
Shout out to Shawn Michaels for playing the hits, man, because this was very reminiscent of that Fatal 4-Way ending between Edge, Randy Orton, Shawn Michaels, and John Cena from their Fatal 4-Way a few years ago. Shawn low-key does that quite a bit, playing the hits of his career with his NXT guys, and I'm not mad at any of it. And this is the third example of wrestling fans being fickle. And also just not letting things play out. Ethan Page he's 35 years old. He's also new to NXT. We also know who he is. We also know where he's been. We also know how good he can be. Mm-hmm. So him signing to NXT, how long did you think it was going to be before he became champion?
It wasn't going to be long.
It wasn't going to be long. He's not going to be NXT long. But also him being experienced, this puts Trick back on the chase for the championship.
Yep.
Before too long, he'll get it back from him. But also, you got to let things cook. Like I know, who's happy? Like who is black and happy that Trick lost his championship? We all know that boy over like Rover. Like the babyface is always better on the chase. Ethan is a dastardly and then a shifty enough heel to make this chase interesting, not just for Trick, but for who is going to be his next challenger. And, we'll get to that, I'm sure, because ain't nobody say his name yet. But
yeah, okay, so we got to talk about this, because at the very end, the program cut off, and then we saw Joe Hendry, and I thought, like Vonny, he said, thought it was drunk for a second. I was like, yo, am I seeing what I'm seeing for real? And yep,
I had to go back and rewind it. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Right, Pete Dunne. Oh, not with Tyler Bate. I must have missed that. I'll have to rewind Raw and catch what led up to this match. But anyway, that was a crazy ending. And as JB said, like, you got to let things cook. I don't expect Ethan Page is going to be in NXT for very long. When, as you said, he's 35. He's been doing this for a minute. He's well equipped to be on the main roster already. This is
probably a big deal on the main roster at that.
Absolutely. It's literally like a quick, stop and go just to get used to how WWE does their matches. That's really what it is for Ethan Page. Like, okay, this is the style. This is how the matches go. We're going to get you used to this. And then, in a couple of months, you're going to be on the main roster. Like that's what it's going to boil down to.
Mm-hmm.
You know who this reminds me of exactly to a T, damn near? Remember when Bobby Roode won the NXT title against Shinsuke?
Yep.
This is exactly what this reminds me of.
Yep.
And like, he was another person who they brought in. It was like, all right, he's over in a sense. He from another promotion. Like, he doesn't need to necessarily be in NXT like that, but it makes sense. And then they put the title on him. And at first, everybody was like, what's going on? Shinsuke's champ. But then, like, the more Bobby Roode had the title and kept going and worked, and the chase for Shinsuke to get the title back made it that much better. Like that's why I'm like, yo, bro, let the beat build.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And as y'all said, like the baby faces are always better when they're chasing the title. And so in this case, Trick is definitely better at chasing the title than he is holding it. But I have no doubt that he can get it back.
Yep.
As we said, he is over like Rover. He's over on the main roster for real, for
Yeah.
real.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, like the moment that the first time that he came to SmackDown and his entrance music played and the crowd was singing "Whoop That Truck," I'm like, oh,
Instantly. It took 2 seconds.
right. Like he may not be technically ready for the main roster, but the main roster audience knows who Trick Williams is. Like they ready for this guy.
And
So,
also, man, can we point out the story beats in this match? Ethan Page was trying to pin anybody.
Yes.
Trick was mainly focused on trying to stop Javon from winning.
right.
Javon was trying to more so get at Spears. Spears was trying to stop Trick from winning. I love like the different how the dynamics are at play here. And oh my God. And just to see how Trick was livid at the end of the night at Ethan.
That boy was pissed.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm like, Shawn Spears?
But
yeah,
also,
yo. No, go ahead, JB.
But also, can we? Maybe I'm a little bit off base here. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Trick was a little bit haterish with Javon a little bit when he was playing.
Yeah, he was playing
It was a little bit heelish. It was a little bit heelish.
Yeah, especially when he pushed him off into the table. He was like, at first he looked like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Then he was just like, well, I mean,
I gotta do what I gotta do.
It was also long live the king type shit.
So, but yeah, if I'm Trick Williams, like, not only am I livid at Ethan Page, but I'm more so livid at Shawn Spears because it's like, bro, you literally kept me from pinning them, but you also kept yourself from winning the championship because you pulled me out of the ring while they were getting pinned. So it's
that's
like
the only thing I don't understand about that whole finish. Like, I think they played everything perfectly. Everything played perfectly. They did what they needed to do. The only thing that just didn't really sit too right was with how Shawn Spears did it. And then at the end, he was kind of just sitting there like, fuck, I fucked up. Unless you play into this on Tuesday with him, like being like, yo, I fucked that up, then it makes sense. But again, it's all about letting the beat build, like we say, bro. Let it cook, let them marinate, let it make sense. So maybe it'll make more sense Tuesday come time when we get to that point.
Yeah, I will have no doubt that he could probably be on Tuesday. Like, I kept Trick from winning, but at the same time, I also fucked myself over because I did that. So, yep, it is what it is.
You know what? I'm sorry. One more thing I do want to get off. Like, I can't remember who it was that was supposed to have his gimmick years ago. I think it was Sean Stasiak. There was a gimmick that was supposed to happen where somebody was literally going to be in WWE, just causing anarchy with everybody and everything. Didn't matter, didn't relate to anything, just literally coming in a fold just to shake the table. Like, that would be perfect for Shawn Spears if he was literally just a person that's like, I don't give a damn about winning no NXT title or nothing like that. I don't give a damn about this. I don't give a damn about that. I literally just want to come in and just like shake the status quo. Then that finish would have been perfect and would have made the most sense. It'd have been like, hey, bro, like the table got shook. Now all eyes are on me. I'm the star of the show because I'm the reason that caused it. So maybe that's the aim.
It could be. From the way it looked at the end, it doesn't seem like that, but that could be an angle that could be played into.
His character seems like a better version of Jericho's learning tree.
Yes. Any means for y'all to shit on Jericho. I love it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. As guys,
where were you on January 6th?
For those who don't know, listen, we're not discrediting Jericho's in-ring repertoire. We're not discrediting all that he's done for the business. It's just Jericho, the person, is trash, and Jericho right now as a character in AEW is garbage. So yeah, all around, just I'm good off that. It's like he ain't Hulk Hogan level yet. And I can't believe I said the ring name, but he's like, if my hatred for Hogan is up here, Chris is like, we right here. So, but anyway, I think that does it, guys, for the night. We definitely went over a little bit, but again, Raw is a 3-hour show, and we can just kind of rewind. Oh, I know I can rewind it. I've been watching at least the matches and talking at the same time. I haven't heard anything because it's on mute because I didn't want it to interrupt the show. But either way, this is what we do it for, guys. Like, we love wrestling over here. And listen, for those who are going to be in Atlanta when Bad Blood comes along, I envy you because I know I'm not going to be able to get off of work for that. Bad Blood coming back after what, 27 years?
27 years to the day.
To the day. To this day.
That is crazy. That is crazy that the last time that we got Bad Blood was the first ever Hell in a Cell match and the introduction of Glenn Jacobs.
Man, fuck
Jim.
Yeah,
hey, him too. He's actually up there with Hulk Hogan. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
Great character, terrible person.
Man, the worst thing he started doing was talking.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Kane is on my Mount Rushmore wrestlers coming up as a child, but I'm separating the art from the artist in that sense. I want to let that narrative be known because y'all might see me in a Kane t-shirt, but that don't mean I support that nigga ideals or anything of that nature. I stand with black people. I stand with black women. You know how we ride. But also, bro, when he got unmasked and he was fucking people up at that point, bro, that meant something to me as a child in my spirit. But even our heroes, as we see with Hulk Hogan, they can grow up and be absolute shitbags. They lived long enough to become the villain, and that happens, and that's fine.
For sure.
It is what it is. As long as they're not touching people on some crazy style, bro, like, yeah.
It just, I don't know, it just kind of is crazy to me how you can stand against the things that are just so obvious when it comes to like human health and human safety, and just like when it comes to the preservation of us as one another, just as like as a species, because it's just, oh my god, I don't even want to get into it personally. Like this ain't even my platform for me to do that, to stand on my soapbox. But it's fuck Glenn Jacobs all day and tomorrow, bro. Like that's just what it comes down to.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
We right here, bro. We right here.
I know. That shit gets me hot. It gets me hot thinking about it, bro. Because
I used to look up to you. Why did you have to be a shithead?
Right.
That's how I'm feeling.
Thank you. That's it.
It's like fuck. But that, on a lighter note, Lola Vice Hive, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
Listen, she throw fists and she throw ass.
Hey, yep, I'm with it. All right, guys. Before we get up out of here, are there any black business highlights that y'all want to point out? Any new businesses that you want to make the audience aware about before we roll up out of here? And then, of course, you can always plug yourself at the very end.
You go first, JB.
Oh man, I came out of nowhere. I really don't have nothing off the top of my head. Just support your local black content creators, like your streamers. There are so many that we know, all of us. So like support everybody. Everybody we're gonna shout out, everybody that we're connected to. Follow our socials. We plug people all the time. So look out for everybody. Like there's enough room at the table for all of us. So support everybody. Let's see everybody grow. Let's see everybody do better.
Put some respect on JB and his content. That JB versus the world branding is solid. I'm letting y'all know that. There's a reason why he keeps doing all of these them press kits and stuff with like and MomoCon and everything. You get that consistently. There's a reason behind that. So know that.
Appreciate that. Really appreciate that, bro.
Yes, sir.
On my side, as far as like saluting and shouting out, I'll shout out. There's a company called Black Girls Wrestle. They have an event called the Blackout that's happening. It is on September 28th. If you're in the Florida area, Daytona Beach to be specific, they are selling tickets for that. Right now, that card has 7 black women's wrestlers right now that are being showcased. Casey Lennox is the champion, but you got the likes of Alexis Littlefoot. You got Maya World, who's fire. You got Scotty Sosa. You got Cassandra Golden. You got Kayla Capri. And you got Jada Stone, who just most recently got shouted out by Bailey, who wore her shirt at WrestleMania. And past that point is just an all-around phenomenal wrestler. Like, the spotlight needs to be on indie wrestlers for real deal, because they be out there busting their ass to get seen and get them accolades, and they deserve every bit of it, because a lot of the matches be a lot better than what y'all see on regular wrestling too. So y'all might want to tap in with that.
That's a fact.
And also Hubtaku is a proud sponsor of the Black Girls Wrestle the Blackout that's coming, just as a heads up. So there's a level of that there too. But more importantly, bro, we just support that.
Shout out to Hubtaku, man.
Yeah, big shout out to Hubtaku. Big shout out, man. All right, guys. Well, I got a little bit of time to do the rundown, so I'm gonna do it really quickly. For those who don't know, of course, the rundown is where we shout out all the podcasts, content creators, Black artists, and Black businesses that support this podcast or have supported this podcast in the past or in the future. So with that, for the podcast shout outs, of course, Shogo High, you already know it. Shout out to the gang inside the Mind of Blur. Also, shout out to the gang. Shout out to Mike Check Waifu. Stay tuned. That's all I'm gonna say. Stay tuned. Shout out to Worst Generation Podcast and Bland Anime Podcast, for, both together, formerly known as Anime After Dark. Shout out to my boys at the Truth and Transparency Podcast with Brother X, the Culture Scientist, and Mr. Smith. They will be back soon. Check out It's So Real with Raquel and Onaji. Dad Needs to Talk with Rob, the father of Ash. Analytical, where shit gets critical. Geek Said Podcast. Big shout out to them. They're doing a lot of behind the scenes work. For those who don't know, please be sure that you pay attention. Especially the Deuces. Deuces has had some crazy projects going on. So
hey, put on to that man's GoFundMe too.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, yes. Yes, they've got a special project going on. I'll be sure to make sure that I put the link in the description so that way you all can check it out. And I'll make sure that I'll let everybody know exactly what's going on all the social media as well. All right. Anime Junkies, 3 Weebs in a podcast, those anime girls, and of course, my boys down in Virginia, The Commute. For Black content creators, of course, we got Off Black Mag with Aaron. We got HBCU Anime with Evan, yo to the noobs. Sundari, Ari actually is taking a very long, indefinite hiatus because she wants to do other things. But if she decides to ever come back, of course, we already know that it's there. But big shout out to her and all the work that she's been doing.
Yep.
Big shout out to Cerberus Entertainment. Of course, Tad
Doodle.
We already know. Big shout out to the sis over there. Shout out to my girl Kiana, aka the Geechee Gamer. Icarus Metro Comics with my boy Calvin. Hubtaku. You already know what time it is. Shout out to Shelby with Simply Janine, Simply Baked, and Rose Less Traveled. Strange Keith with Idols to Icons. Toasty Marshmallow, of course. And the Corner 5 in order. Simone, but with by Simone Malcolm. Courtney with None of My First Watch Anime. 5 with Fight for Rage. Chris with Chris Madarame. And Shammy Sham with One Punch Sham. Y'all are ridiculous, man. All right, and of course, Scuba Steve and Alpha with Blur Mind Productions for for our Black artists. Of course, our very own NASA. Shout out to my boy Scoozy, Jack Union, Phil.me, Ellis Quinn, RJ Stackhouse, my boy Quarter. Happy birthday to my boy Tyrone Leak Jr., who is, of course, responsible for the intro to the Chaotic Culture podcast. Shout out to Miss Ari Lachelle, who actually just got signed to the Recording Academy, which means that she is a part of the Grammys. So big shout out to Ari Lachelle. I definitely have to get her back on this pod because that is my homie for real. Shout out to Zach Hans with Fortresses, Miss Elena, Zainab, and of course Imogen. And I got to talk to Imogen soon because I definitely want her back as well. And for our Black business shout outs, Already Paid by Dre, Fresheners, Righteous Bonds by Timo, KSS Brand by Christina, Cream Cosmetics by Naima, Mind Over Money by Miss Tremaine, Studio Maho with Pat and Yin, Concept Moon, She Designs 2 with Aaron, Black Magic / Lit Wands with Low and T, Happy belated birthday, Low, H4 Creative with Miss Zenobia, Real Estate Stone by Miss Meredith, Soul by Bell by Mariah, Good Vibes Only with NASA, and Scrappy Sentiment with my other co-host, Miss Sappy. Be sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the Chaotic Culture Podcast on your favorite DSP. Be sure that you subscribe to the Patreon for early access to the podcast and bonus episodes of this podcast. Check us out. Of course, I do music reviews on Patreon as well, and I've been letting them open for the free. You know, I do want to get them on YouTube, but of course, I don't have a big enough following in order for me to avoid the copyright. So, yeah, just check them out on Patreon. And again, it's for free. You do not have to be a member to check out the music reviews that I do or the album reviews that I do. However, for all other content, please be sure that you go to patreon.com/chaotic culture pod. And of course, be sure that you subscribe at any of the 4 levels. You can follow us on Facebook at Chaotic Culture Podcast. You can follow us on X/Twitter at Chaotic Culture 1. And you can follow us on Instagram at Chaotic Culture Pod. You can follow me, Kat the Pro. That's K3D the Pro on all social media. You can follow Miss Nasa at I'm Nakaso on all social media. You can follow Law on IG at L.JR_96 and on X at Law96_. He won't respond because he's currently in basic training, but definitely shout out to my boy. Hope he's doing well. You can follow Miss Sappy on all social media at Scraps14. You can follow Johnny on all social media at JLE Trey, and you can follow Scuba Steve at Scuba Steve 1428 on all social media. And last but not least, of course, gentlemen, how can the audience follow you again?
Oh, JB, you want to go first?
Oh yeah, sure, I'll go first. You can follow me on all my socials at JB versus the world, spelled right there, and my little nameplate right there. JB versus spelled out the world. Put it all together. You say it out once like a Tribe Called Quest on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and you want to argue with me on Twitter. Now I'm not gonna call it X. I'm gonna call it Twitter because I'm calling Twitter first. At JBV the world because versus was just too long for it. My central hub is JBVersustheWorld.com, and I'm back doing social, doing my content regularly now. You can find me doing my guest spots here. I'm breaking down the Acolyte every week. I got the reviews coming every week, and I recently did I'm past it now, but 100th video on YouTube.
Hey,
let's go.
Get it.
Yes, sir.
So, and to commemorate that, I'm going to post up every entrance I recorded from WrestleMania to NXT TakeOver this week, along with my regular Star Wars Acolyte content. I got reviews coming. I got my MomoCon content coming. Like it's gonna be busy season coming on. We about to be eating.
Yeah, for real.
So
yes,
subscribe. I'm 10 subscribers away from 500. So if you ain't subscribed, come support your boy. Because it's going up.
The world.
JB versus the world, spelled right like it's spelled like that. Right there. So yeah, subscribe. We're going up this season. If you already are, I appreciate you. And so thank you for supporting me and keep supporting everybody that can. You're on this side. Support everybody that can. Keep supporting Vonny on everything that he's doing. One of the best YouTubers I know. Like, keep supporting us. We all going up. It's winning season over here.
Yes, sir. And
I just subscribed to my boy JB YouTube right now. So you got 9 until you get the 500 on. Let's get that ball rolling, if you will.
Let's go.
Me on all platforms, you can find me at ihatevonny. First and foremost, you can find them good people. Hubtaku, HBTKU is where you can find us. Keep your head in the clouds. If you're a content creator or anything in between, you want to talk, we here to listen with open ears and arms. You feel me? But also for wrestling content, since we're here talking about that there wrestling, you can find me on all platforms at ihatevonny. I am what you would like to consider black man hiding behind a black man. As you can tell right now, got my mask that's signed up by a lot of great indie wrestlers we get to talk to. Got some really cool stuff coming with a lot of these people. I do highlight reels for these indie wrestlers to make sure they got their stuff going. About to get interviews going with these indie wrestlers. Just a lot of great content, met a lot of great people. Feel free to support. I'm really trying to get this YouTube rocking and rolling too on my side of the fence as well. Been picking up a lot more since I've been interacting in this wrestling space, but the more y'all that come, the better. Make sure y'all support JB. Make sure y'all support me. And the last thing I will leave on my side of the fence is that y'all seen my post a while ago, Vonny in the Bank. A little EP album, 6 tracks is coming. If it's not this month in July, it may be the top of August, but that is almost done. Y'all about to get some new music.
Hey, let's go. Can't wait. Cannot wait. With that in mind, also please be sure that you subscribe to our YouTube as well, Khaotic Culture Podcast. Come find us.
Right
now. We literally just started, so we're at 24 subscribers. Not quite 500, but you know what I'm saying. Like, just definitely
25.
Yeah, hey, appreciate it. Definitely just subscribe, check out the videos. Of course, the actual sound of this podcast will show up first, and then the actual video will show up at around 10 a.m. on Tuesdays all the time, most of the time, unless, something happens in life, then of course I'll push it to Wednesday. But with that in mind, guys, this has been another edition of the Khaotic Culture Podcast. So until next time, folks, remember, embrace the culture, chaos rules, be blessed, be safe, God is love, and we out.
It's the KKP on your mother flipping airways. Hear the name ringing through the halls and the stairways. You were listening to a pod that can segue. All the latest topics guaranteed to fill your headspace. It's a safe place to voice your opinion. Say what you feel just like you're a kid again. Kid to pro and friends, black as obsidian. Chaotic culture, that's the world we living in. So what's the word?
You are now tuned in to the Chaotic Culture Podcast. And